when you see a pigeon, it's easy to just think of it as a bird that hangs around humans because it knows we have food. But when you start to notice where they go, when they fly away, you'll start to wonder why pigeons always go home. Hi, I'm here with Minute Earth. Some people might assume that pigeons always go home because they're domesticated. After all, domestic animals often stay close to the places they were raised. But the homing instinct is actually present in most wild birds, too. It's just that in most species, the urge to head home is way stronger than the urge to nab some tasty scraps from a careless tourist. That's why you don't usually see Canada geese flying in formation with their paddling men. They're more likely to head straight for home, even if they get an extra snack along the way. And homing pigeons, well, they were selectively bred by humans for their homing abilities, which makes them an extreme version of a behavior that you see in most birds. But why would any bird rather fly 60 miles per hour for 10 hours straight than take a much shorter trip to a buffet of breadcrumbs? Well, the answer has a lot to do with birds evolved from dinosaurs, which means that like their dinosaurian ancestors, they are biologically programmed to travel long distances each year between their breeding grounds and their feeding grounds. These migration routes can span thousands of kilometers and take weeks, so birds need a reliable way to get from A to B. And that means flying directly to their destination without stopping to smell the roses or, eat the crumbs. But how do they do that? Well, birds have a few tricks. For one, many birds use landmarks such as rivers and mountain ranges to help them keep oriented on their migration routes. And even though we don't fully understand how they do it, scientists think that birds also use the sun, stars, and even magnetic fields to help navigate. But there's another secret that scientists have uncovered that helps explain how birds find their way home. In 1971, researchers found that birds have an extraordinary sense of smell. They can pick up the scent of their home roost from more than a kilometer away, and they aren't just smelling their way to safety. Birds are able to sniff out their favorite foods from miles away. Black-crowned night herons, for instance, can detect the scent of fish from more than 3 miles away. Now, you might be thinking that a pigeon's sense of smell isn't that impressive. But consider this. Humans can smell things that are only about 10 times closer to us. So birds have a sense of smell roughly 100 times better than ours. And if they can smell fish from more than 3 miles away, then it stands to reason that they could smell their way to a cozy loft full of birder friends. In fact, studies have shown that pigeons released far from home use odors to find their way back. In one study, researchers transported feral pigeons to a new location more than 200 miles away from their home loft. The birds were kept in a dark box until the experiment began. At first, the birds were disoriented and flew in random directions. But after several hours, they started to sniff the air, after which they flew off in the right direction and headed home. Now, since experiments can't just drop feral pigeons in the middle of nowhere, scientists haven't been able to figure out exactly what chemical clues these birds are following. But it seems likely that they're reusing information from their local environment to piece together where they are and where they need to go. So when you see a pigeon flapping its way toward a building in the distance, it's probably heading toward more than just some friendly faces and a handout of birdseed. It's going home to a place it knows intimately, a place it can smell from miles away. And maybe that's something we could all learn from. Speaking of things we can all learn from, thanks to a wonderful online platform, you can learn computer science from home at your own pace with no homework or exams. It's a great way to boost your STEM learning and career prospects. I mean, look at this awesome animation I made in their course, Introduction to Computer Science. It's part of a collection of bite-sized courses and full-fledged classes spanning math, science, computer science, and engineering. And thanks to Brilliant for supporting this Minute Earth.